A lot of times people try to sugarcoat it and think that that's the best way to go about it, when a lot of these people just want to know what's happening, when it's going to happen, what could go wrong, what are you going to do to fix it. So having that honest conversation right up front and letting people know that this may happen later down the road, it saves so much turmoil in the end. So that does help.
What does it take to compete at a high level, serve people with integrity, and still use your platform to make an impact beyond business? Hey there, welcome back to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. I'm your host, Jan Simon, and this season we're raising the bar, diving into the passion, purpose, and defining moments of leaders who don't just aim high, they live there. Big ideas, real stories. Let's get into it. Today on Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation, we sit down with Brett Johnson, a licensed real estate professional serving both the Phoenix and Denver metro areas. With a master's in sports law and business from Arizona State University, Brett brings a competitive mindset, sharp strategy, and a heart for helping people navigate some of life's biggest decisions. Brett's story goes beyond real estate, from helping first-time buyers and seasoned investors to hosting charity golf tournaments for all-in empowering futures and championing foster youth initiatives. She's building a life rooted in purpose, service, and impact. This is a conversation about ambition, communication, giving back, and what it really means to go all in. Brett, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So, we kind of covered a lot of stuff there, but give me the down and dirty about where Brett is from. And first, start with your name, because it's a very unique name.
It is.
The only other Brett female I know is Brett Cooper. Is that her last name? Brett Cooper.
Could not even tell you.
She's a
From like the old.
No, she's a talking head. She's young.
Interesting.
Cooper,
Yeah.
I think it's her last name. But anyways.
I don't know. I honestly, I think it's a boring story because you'd think that there'd be such a better background story on it. But I have two older brothers. One's 8 years older than me.
Shelly and Sharon.
You would think, right? You would think. Gregory and Kyle. We call Greg, Kyle, Brett. And Greg, he was 8 when I was born.
Okay.
And apparently I was supposed to be a boy. And so they just let Greg pick the name if I wanted to go girl name or boy name, and he picked Brett. That's where it's at.
That's awesome. So it's not short for anything.
Brethaniel.
No,
I'm just kidding. It's just Brett.
God. I was like, wow. No kidding.
Yeah. No, I actually, when I was working, I had to stop wearing name tags because people are like, what's your real name? Like, whose name tag did you steal? So it's definitely a great conversation starter. Mm-hmm. People love questioning me on it. People ask me, like, were your parents on drugs, or like, was something going on?
I tell people that about mine all the time. I was born in the 70s, and it's Jan, but it looks like Jan. And I tell people all the time, it's like, yeah, well, there's two stories. One, my parents were high as a kite.
Yep. It's one or the other.
And two, it's a family name. No, but anyways, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I just thought maybe your dad was like big time into baseball and...
Well, yeah, he is actually very big into baseball. He was actually a professional umpire.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Kidding. But no, had nothing to do with that. I still to this day are like, are you sure there's not like a bigger story why my name is Brett? And they have no answers for me. So
you have to sit down and come up with a story.
I know. I need something better.
A crazy story. Anyways. Okay, so where'd you grow up?
I'm from Colorado, so I was born and raised in Lakewood.
Okay, that's south of Denver, right?
West of Denver.
West, okay.
Going towards the mountains. So I was literally 20 minutes from the mountains, 15 minutes from downtown Denver. Lived in the same house my whole life.
Okay.
Which was super cool. Not a lot of people can say that these days.
Yeah.
So I was there up until I was 22. And then I moved to Arizona. So...
Dang.
Yeah, I'm not a snow girl. I don't like the snow.
I was going to say, did you grow up a snow prodigy, skiing, snowboarding?
We did grow up skiing. We would go cross-country skiing all the time, downhill skiing all the time. And for some reason, my middle brother, he loves it. Him and his wife go skiing all the time. My parents still go skiing all the time. Me and my older brother, we just didn't get the snow gene.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we're very much like, get me in the sun, and I'm good.
That's hilarious. I think I told this on the podcast before, but I grew up in Washington State and northeastern Washington, and my parents decided one year that we were going to get into cross-country skiing. And I was maybe in 5th grade, but it had snowed like a ton one night. My dad was a teacher. My mom worked at the hospital. They both left. I decide brilliance of my mind, I'm going to ski to school.
Oh gosh.
Like
No.
3 hours later,
Oh my gosh.
they're sending out the troops
They're
looking
like, where
for
is
me.
he? Find
And it's
him.
it's like all of maybe a mile from my house to the school,
Oh.
but it's literally is one of those things, people talk about we had to trek uphill both ways in the snow. It is kind of uphill both ways. It's weird, like these weird, but
That sounds awful.
cross country skiing, you get on a hill,
You're screwed.
you can't go anywhere.
No, that's a whole workout in itself, and it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable at all.
Anyways, so cross country skiing, did you play sports?
I did. Played lots of sports growing up. I tried tennis, did volleyball, did soccer, ended up playing basketball in high school. I was supposed to go to college for basketball, but got hurt. And then I ended up playing softball in college.
Okay.
So, and I ran track in middle school, did long jump.
What position did you play in softball?
Pitcher and outfield.
Okay.
Yep, I was a left-handed pitcher.
Oh, no kidding. Do you have a wicked, drop?
My curveball.
No kidding.
Yeah, coming into a right-handed batter, they hated it.
I can't imagine. I played baseball for a while, not anything good, but watching women's fast pitch, I don't know how you hit a ball.
It's so fun.
That's crazy. I've never actually attempted to hit a fast pitch.
We'll have to do that
but
one day.
just the angle coming that way versus
coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I had a natural rise too, which always screwed people up. And then it pissed me off too because when I needed to throw a rise, I couldn't throw a rise. So it was one of those where I just had to stick to what I
That's crazy.
could. Yeah.
So where'd you go to college?
So I went to a junior college first. I had a full ride there, so it was just kind of a no-brainer. I didn't know if I wanted to play softball in college. So it was kind of like, let me just go do this for a year, see what happens. Went there for a year, and then I transferred to Colorado Mesa. I was sick and tired of softball. Had a spot on the team there, and then decided that I just wanted to play club ball. I just wanted to have fun with it and stop the competitiveness of it all.
Yeah.
And practicing. The junior college, we're practicing 8 hours a day because they don't have any restrictions. So my first month there, I lost 15 pounds and I was already tiny. So I went home and my doctor's like, are you okay? Like, are you depressed? I'm like, no, we're just running for 8 hours a day. It was insane. My coach was crazy.
Did you have a good team or was it just more crazy coach?
We were good in the fall, which
Okay.
wasn't our actual season. And then our coach completely switched everything around in the spring and we were not good in the spring. So it was kind of an unfortunate because there was a lot of potential with that team. We had a lot of good girls. But yeah, so unfortunately, the coaches were kind of the reasons I left softball and went to Colorado Mesa. And then, yeah, I just started playing club ball there, loved it. Was able to play intramural basketball because of it, so I was able to get back into basketball. And it all just made sense once I got there.
Very cool.
So.
You talk baseball with Karen at all?
I haven't yet, no. But I do love it.
Watch out for her. She'd talk you under the table.
Well, oddly enough, when I first met her, I was like, she looks so familiar. And I think I can't remember what tournament we were playing in, but I was like, did you used to play or coach somewhere? And she was like, I used to coach at Highlands. And I was like, that's why. I was
kidding.
like, you had to reach out to me at some point to recruit me to Highlands
Oh, no kidding.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh
so
my
it was like
gosh.
super small world. But
That's crazy.
I could never go to Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did it.
Well, yeah, it's such a beautiful town.
It's something. It is something, all right.
She played sports. Was there anybody in your history growing up that really kind of shaped, molded, influenced you into who you are today?
I would say pretty much my immediate family, like all of them. So there's 5 of us. My parents are still together. They've been married for 41 years. And then my 2 older brothers. They're all my best friends. So I was very blessed that I love the age difference between me and my oldest brother because he kind of grew up, he was just not really there in the stages where I needed him necessarily, but when it counted, he was always there. And then I was able to look up to him more as like a older figure, like a mentor rather than an older brother.
Okay.
And I would say him especially has shaped me a lot. My parents, obviously, like my dad both my parents are super athletic. My mom grew up playing sports. She ran triathlons and did all that. My dad, baseball, football, basketball. Even to this day, I call him old, and he's still like outbeat me and everything. Yeah, and so even then, my middle brother too. We were closer in age, so we were around each other a lot more, and we butt heads a lot. But now he's definitely like somebody I call him all the time for support and asking what his opinion is and all of that. So I'd say I am so blessed with the family that I have.
That's
they
cool.
have been amazing.
That's awesome. Did I'm assuming your brothers played sports as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So my oldest brother, actually, I believe it was in 8th grade, was playing football, and he got tackled on the sideline with his helmet off. And so he had a concussion to the point where if he were to play another contact sport, if he got hit, he would die.
No, wow.
And so he had to switch to golf. And that, my brother, that's the most competitive out of the three of us. And so he switched to golf, played golf all throughout high school, went to college for golf, and then got his pro card and was playing mini tours for a little while.
Oh, wow.
I tell him he's a little nutcase. So I stayed away from golf because I was like, I'd just rather like you be the Looney Tune of the family right now. But then, so he's been playing golf. My middle brother was a track star. We learned very early on his left ventricle was bigger than his right, and that's why he could run so far.
Oh.
So whatever it was something stupid. He was all proud of it. But yeah, so and Kyle played basketball too. My middle brother played basketball. So we've always been a super competitive family.
Are you better than your older brother in golf?
Oh no, gosh, no. Oh my gosh. I try. I'm slowly getting close to beating my middle brother. He doesn't play that seriously, so it's like not that big of an ego boost, but my oldest one, there's no chance.
Yeah.
He'll not play for 3 months and go shoot a 62.
Wow.
Stupid. Yeah. So one day when he's old and
I would love to just shoot under 70 someday.
yeah, right.
I mean, it's like
can I just be in the 80s consistently or something?
I swear, it's like I can put together a great 9 holes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
the rest are
train wreck.
Yeah.
Or it's a train wreck, and all of a sudden I decide to play the back 9. It's like, why can't I piece together 2 good 9 holes?
It's like the more I play, the worse I'm getting. Then.
Oh.
So I'm like, do I need to? And I won't go get lessons because I can't justify sucking and having lessons. But like, if I don't have lessons and still stuck, then I'm like, oh well, that's because I don't have lessons.
Amen.
Yeah, it just makes
I
sense
am the
in my
exact same way. Like people say, why don't you get lessons? It's like I'm not in this competitively.
Yeah, no, I just
and I suck. So there's a reason I suck.
And we'll stay like
there
this.
There are days I play well.
Yeah.
And then there's days that.
Yep.
You'd wonder, God, have you ever picked up a club before?
Exactly. And it's just fun for me. I've only been playing for about 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So golf is fairly new to me, and I'm actually left-handed in everything except for golf and basketball.
Is that because somebody had golf clubs just laying around and you decided to pick up the golf clubs? And
Kinda. Yeah. So I used to work maintenance in Colorado at a golf course. I was the only girl with all the boys, just like growing up. But my dad was a superintendent at 2 courses in Westminster. And so we'd have an employee tournament every year. And so I'd just call my dad, hey, can you bring me home clubs? I don't golf enough to actually have my own clubs. So he'd bring me home left-handed clubs, and I would hit him. My last year at the golf course, he brought me home right-handed clubs, completely forgetting that I was left-handed. And I didn't think anything of it. So I just went and hit right-handed clubs because I sucked either way. And then I just
started playing
right-handed clubs. Yeah,
that's crazy. I used to work with a gal that, oddly enough, played softball and stuff growing up, but then she played golf, and she basically told herself she was going to learn to play golf because that was like what the business people did.
Yeah.
And she was a left-handed at everything, left-handed swinger at the bat, and then picked up left-handed golf clubs and struggled. And then one day
just switched to right. And
all of a sudden she's like, it was like game on.
Yeah, it's weird because I used to be a switch hitter for softball, so I started right-handed and then I'd go to left, and then left. I just stayed left just because I could power hit left and I was a slapper, so it just made sense. And never thought to try. It was just weird. I don't know how it happened, but it's working.
That's
I guess.
crazy.
And it
That's
doesn't
incredible.
My softball swing now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So when people see today, successful real estate agent, I'm assuming successful real estate. I mean, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're making a living at it.
We're
so
here.
Both Phoenix and Denver. What would you say is an important part of your origin story that most people don't know about Brett?
I think it would be when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I got a line drive to the rib and broke my ribs.
Oh, ow.
And I was terrified of the ball. The next day, I had a tournament that weekend, and that was a Saturday that I got hit. And I was watching Sandlot before my games on Sunday, and the opening scene of Sandlot is the baseball coming at the screen. And I flinched super hard, and I was like, I can't go pitch today.
Oh, wow.
And so I was terrified. And pretty much from, I want to say it was probably the summer of me going into 8th grade. No, it would have had been going into freshman year, I think. My high school coach didn't know that I broke my rib. She didn't know the extent of how traumatic it was for me, and like picturing a ball flying at my face again, like it was just not something I thought I could get over.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to suck it up. I didn't want anybody to know at my high school that I was being this little baby in 8th grade and terrified of the ball, and anytime stepping on the mound crying kind of thing. So I did. I sucked it up, and finally somehow got over the fear of the ball flying at me. And I actually made varsity my freshman year, played varsity all 4 years. And I think that has really led into my real estate career, because real estate's not an easy thing to continue, especially with the ups and downs. So it is kind of that pushing through and making sure that like even like your mental game has to be strong, even in the valleys. And I think that's been something that I didn't know I learned until getting into real estate, because I saw it in a lot of other things, like with school and my master's program and all of that. But I think real estate, when it can be such an up and down business, just pushing through and having to actually just suck it up has been huge. So
Let's talk about school for a second. You went to school, got a master's in
sport law and business.
Sport law and business.
Yeah.
Is okay, so sport law, is that similar to like law? I mean, what did you think you wanted to do with that?
I wanted to be a sports agent.
Okay.
I walked into the first day of our program, and it was a smaller program, and everybody in there wanted to be a sports agent pretty much. So our professor went around and she said, okay, everybody's going to say what you want to do after your program. So it started, first person, sports agent. She goes, you're not going to be a sports agent. We're like, okay. Next person, what do you want to be? Sports agent. You're not going to be a sports agent. So then I'm sitting there like, what the hell? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I want to be a sports agent. She goes, you're not going to be a sports agent. I was like, okay, well, like, I don't know what else I want to do in sports. I don't want to do like ticketing. I don't want to do sales. Like, I don't want to do anything else does not sound intriguing to me. So yeah, I still in my head was like, no, I'm going to be a sports agent. Like there was me, the one other guy that I'm still really good friends with who was just stubborn as all get out. He was like, no, I'm going to be. And they sat there for 10 minutes arguing back and forth about him being a sports agent. He's not a sports agent.
Oh, that's funny.
He's actually a real estate agent. And so that was kind of like going through the program and learning more about, because we did still have classes on sports agents and blah, blah, blah. And there was one story about a sports agent who had to sit the agent or the athlete's wife away from his girlfriend. And I was like, my morals and ethics, I'd be so petty and I would sit them next to each other.
Yeah. And
so in that moment, I was like, I'm not going to even try. So I knew I didn't want to really do anything with sports halfway through my program. So I just got the degree and then tried to figure it out after that.
Did you go straight into real estate after school?
No, I didn't. So I was working at a golf course. I was working at Ocotillo pretty much since I moved out here. And I was just bartending and I was sitting there. And at this point, I've only been licensed for 3.5 years. So it was like 4.5 years ago. I was sitting there and his name's Larry. He's one of my regulars there. And it was just me and him talking. And he's like, you remind me so much of this girl in California who does real estate. And she does it really well. And I think that's something you'd be really good at. And I've always thought about like interior design and doing something with houses. I love building things and putting things together and decorating and whatever it is. So I was like, well, maybe like that would be cool. Like I love looking at houses. Don't know if that like correlates with what an actual agent would have to do. And so I was like, screw it. So I literally had my laptop out right then and there and bought the classes, then got licensed, and now here we are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that was 3.5 years ago?
Yep.
Where did your competitive spirit come from? Obviously, I'm sensing that. You've talked about it a little bit. Yeah. And it sounds like with 2 older brothers, they're very competitive.
Yeah.
Is it just the family?
I think it is the family. I grew up with all boys. I mean, I had my brothers, best friends too, that were always over. So I was surrounded by boys pretty much my entire childhood. I had 4 other boys, and we had lived in a cul-de-sac. So 4 other boys. There was only 2 other girls, and they were all older than me. So I only hung out with the guys, and all we did was play sports and had water balloon fights and teepeeing wars. And so I think it just came from being around them and trying to keep up with them and not trying to be the little girl of the group. So I think that's what it was.
Playing with Barbies and...
No, my brother got a Barbie once for his birthday, and I don't think I ever got Barbies. I had dolls, but I was like, he did get a Barbie at some point.
That's funny. But... Talk to me about... So I've got this question. I want to read it to you because I will mess it up if I don't. Real estate can be emotional, stressful, deeply personal for clients. Mm-hmm. How do you lead people through a big decision while keeping honesty and trust in the forefront? Yeah.
Transparency is everything. Just one in particular story that I can tell you about is this was early on in my career too, like right when I got licensed. I got a referral from one of my lenders, and it was this guy whose wife was dying. She had cancer. They knew she was dying, but didn't know when that was going to happen. They both used to be in real estate, but she used to do all the paperwork. So he didn't know how to do any paperwork, so he had to stop doing real estate. And so he called me one day, and he was a very straightforward man too. He was older, and he said, I don't know when my wife is going to effing die on me, so we just need to sell my house. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. And in that moment, I'm like,
Oh my God.
yeah. And oddly enough, I got my master or my undergrad in sports management with a minor in social work because therapy, being a therapist was something I thought about being. So I was like, this kind of ties into my social work aspect of life. And so it's being transparent without, because they don't want you to sugarcoat it. And a lot of times people try to sugarcoat it and think that that's the best way to go about it when a lot of these people just want to know what's happening, when it's going to happen, what could go wrong, what are you going to do to fix it. So having that honest conversation right up front and letting people know that this may happen later down the road, it saves so much turmoil in the end. So that does help.
Has there been a time where either you've been, well, let's say you've been a buying agent, and I'm making assumptions, but you've been a buying agent and you've had a client, and I probably shouldn't do this because you probably haven't had a lot of clients, right? But you've had a client that like you've shown a lot of houses to, and you're like, just make a decision. I've spent so much time finding you the perfect house.
Yeah.
Just
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
How do you deal with that?
I think the lucky part for me is I love people and I love spending time with people and I love seeing inside of houses. So it is kind of beneficial to do that for me, but I also it is still that transparency part. Like I can go through the 15 houses they sent me and be like, you're not going to like this one. We don't need to go see it. And a lot of times they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. And it is kind of harder with newer clients if I don't know them as well, because then we kind of have to do a little trial and error and see. Once you walk in 3 houses, you know if what they're actually fixated on and what their needs actually are, whether they say it or not. So it is really just kind of reading them and determining what their 5 must-haves are when it comes to buying a house. And a lot of times, a lot of buyers are actually very respectful of my time, which is, I've been very blessed with that. But it is, I mean, I have had a couple of clients that I've been working with them for 2 years now. So, and they're just too scared to pull the trigger. But it's like, I know they're going to at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really just, it's one of those things. You just got to suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of agents out there too that do have showing agents. So they can just send their showing agents and then it really doesn't affect them personally. I'm not there yet. I like still going to see houses. I like doing all of that still. So I haven't gotten to that point, but it is pretty easy to narrow down what their actual wants are.
Okay.
Further down the
Once
road.
you see a couple of them.
Yeah.
When you're, as the business has been, we'll say growing, transitioning, have there been situations where you've thought, maybe I didn't decide to do the right thing? Like maybe I'm not cut out for real estate?
Yeah. Oh no, it probably more than I'd like to admit, actually. The lows can be very low sometimes. I think the hardest thing for me, because I was working up at the golf course up until June of last year.
Okay.
And that was my main lead generation source. So I was basically getting paid to lead gen and get clients.
Nice.
Once that ended, not only did it end in June during the slow season of real estate in the summer, I was gone pretty much all of June. And then I was in Colorado for 2 weeks in July. So I was gone a lot. So I actually wasn't actively doing real estate the last 5 months of 2025.
Oh, wow.
So not only did I have to rebuild my pipeline, but I had to figure out a new way to lead generate that actually fit my personality and fit what I wanted to do in my business, because I didn't want it to be transactional. I wanted it to be relational. So that's when I decided social media was going to be one of my lead generation sources. Golf was going to be one. And then events was going to be the other. And so now it's kind of been like I kind of restarted real estate. So I've been rebuilding my pipeline, really focusing on the things that I know I'm good at instead of trying to do a billion different things and just hope that I'm good at one of them. And it's been really good for me.
Do you feel like you've had to believe in yourself more than you ever thought you would have to?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you have a good support system that keeps saying, hey, Brett, you're doing a great job. Let's go.
Both.
Yeah.
I have an amazing support system, especially out here, especially with my brokerage and my friends. They are all very much, I feel like they believe in me more than I believe in myself, which is hard because there are times where I'm like, I don't know why you guys are believing in me when I can't even believe in myself.
Yeah.
But one of the first things that they teach you in real estate is affirmations. They're like, you should be waking up every morning and saying these things to yourself. So I have plenty of affirmations on my mirror right now, which some days wake up and are fantastic and they help. And some days you're like, I want to erase these all off my mirror.
Yeah.
But no, it is hard because it's a mental battle.
Yeah.
It really is. And if you're not staying mentally healthy, you can go down a dark hole in real estate.
I find that in what I do as well. I mean, I'm in sales, so it is what it is, but I feel the same. Like, but there's times where it's like, I've got to go, okay, stop focusing on the fact that it feels like there's no deals being closed, and start focusing on meeting somebody new or, whatever. Say, go to an event and say, okay, how can I walk out of here with 2 people that I haven't known before and I can have conversations with them?
Yep.
So let's talk about, you and I had a previous conversation very briefly with regards to adoption and the whole cycle. So let's kind of shift gears a second, and we'll probably come back to real estate at some point. But talk to me about how you've gotten involved with, I'll say the adoption world, and correct me if I'm wrong.
No. But. Yeah, it kind of is kind of the opposite. It's kind of like the non-adoption world, because we do deal with kids who age out of the foster care system who never get adopted. So my mom actually was working in D.C. She was the assistant secretary for children and families. So she was under the secretary. So she's pretty much the second largest social worker in the United States, pretty much. This is the way I like to describe it. She'll probably tell me to be quiet.
So she was kind of important.
She's a big deal. My mom, she's got some big shoes to fill. No, she's an amazing woman. So she started this in D.C. and she had gotten, I don't know, majority of the governors on board, all in, to help change the foster care system, help those who age out, that kind of thing. When she was done living in D.C., she came back and she wasn't really able to finish that initiative. And so we were like, Mom, you got to keep this going. You're doing really good for these kids. And we call them kids. They're all 18 and older. So youth, aged out youth.
Because you're so old.
I'm getting there. My knees are telling me differently. But yeah, so we were like, you got to do it. She was kind of reluctant, but we had, his name's Deshaun. He's a part of All In. And he called my mom and he said, can I stop by the house? I'm going to California. I just need a place to stay for a little bit. Do you mind if I stay? She's like, my mom anybody can stay at my parents' house. I've got that trait also. If you ask any of my friends, my door's a revolving door as well. And so Deshaun stayed at the house. He went hiking with my brothers and did a bunch of stuff. And then he went on his way to California. And a lot of traits from people in foster care who age out, if they leave their personal belongings somewhere, it means they felt safe there and that's what they would consider home. So my mom went up to go clean the room and found all of Deshaun, a bunch of Deshaun's things. And so she called Deshaun and said, hey, where can I send this to? You left all this stuff. He's like, don't worry about it. I'll get it when I come home. And so then my mom was like, I'm going to do this. Yeah. So next thing you know, we have 20 aged out foster youth at my parents' house. They don't have a massive house. There was sleeping bags and air mattresses. I slept on my parents' floor in their bedroom. And it was pretty much like a bunch of 18-plus-year-olds reliving a childhood they never got.
Oh, wow. And
so that's what kind of started it. So we went from those 20 to now we have about 200 that are involved with All In. And I always say I have 200 more siblings now because if my parents aren't answering, they're calling me.
Oh, wow.
So, and I've gotten really close with a lot of them, and I do consider a lot of them family, and they have completely changed my perspective on life.
Talk to me about when you say age out, what does that mean?
So depending on the state, it's either going to be 18 or 21, and some of this I might get wrong. My mom is the expert at this stuff. But when you age out, the foster parents stop getting money to house you and take care of you. A lot of them will say, yes, I'm going to still help you and support you. And there's other ones that would say you're on your own. Some states, you don't even have your birth certificate. You don't have a driver's license. You have nowhere to go. You're basically just back on the streets. And there's statistics where majority of people who age out end up on the streets or end up incarcerated or end up pregnant or dead. And the statistics are actually very sad. No. And this is something that nobody even realizes is a problem because all they think about is the people in foster care and don't realize what happened to the youth that age out of foster care. So it's a very overlooked problem in the United States that now, which is the craziest and most amazing thing, seeing this nonprofit grow, is we'll have somebody in California somehow find an aged out foster youth in West Virginia and bring them into the community and just love on them. And so that's why it's grown to where it's at. And we have West Virginia, Indiana, Chicago, Colorado, Arizona, we have youth everywhere. And you would think with how far apart they are state-wise, they're with each other all the time, especially when they get together. Yeah. It's super cool to see.
That is really cool. Yeah. There's a little bit of perplexity going on here because, and we've talked about this, but I'm going to kind of bring it up again. Aging out Is it that they're just not being prepared for the next step? I mean, because, and obviously there's different levels of society and all the different things that go on. In your opinion, is there something broken on the inside with the younger youth, maybe in foster care, that could be potentially fixed that might help?
Yeah, I don't know to the extent. I'm not well versed in the actual foster care system aspect of it, but I do know a lot of these kids who age out, they want to change what's going on in the foster care system. I read a book, it's actually called A Piece of Cake, and the author's name is Cupcake Brown. She grew up in the foster care system. She was put in a foster home where they abused her, sexually abused her, all of those things. And she would try to tell people, and nobody believed her because she was just a foster kid. She ended up escaping, and now she's a super successful lawyer. So I don't know the extent of, and every state is different also, so it's hard to speak on what's going on internally when it comes to the foster care system. But I mean, not being able to get a driver's license or not being able to get your birth certificate to go apply for a job or things like that. I know just some of the systems just don't allow the youth to be set up for success.
Wow.
So, I mean, we had a men's retreat a few years ago, and they didn't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to tie a tie. So it's like all these things that you would think you'd learn growing up, like that we were blessed enough to learn growing up.
Right.
They missed out on that, and they didn't get that opportunity. And I mean, everybody's story is different. I mean, not everybody in the foster care system has had a bad experience, but a lot of them that did age out, they kind of were just thrown to the wolves, told them to go figure it out kind of thing.
Yeah. So tell me what All In does for them.
So we won't call ourselves a program because we're not like, you're not in the program, we're not fixing you, whatever. We're just giving you resources. So
is it a nonprofit though?
It is a nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically, we put on retreats and it's building community. It's basically showing that you guys have a bigger purpose than what you probably believed that in the foster care system. So like I said, the men's retreat, showing them how to do all the stuff that they didn't know growing up. We have one young adult who was starting a family, and he went up to my dad and was like, I don't know how to be a dad. I never had one. So getting them connected with the right people, the mentors, giving them opportunities. I know one of the age out foster youth, my mom was able to get him a scholarship for like an IT tech school or something like that. So it's just connecting them with the right people, getting them involved in community, letting them have that belly laughter that they never had growing up. But yeah, it's a pretty, when you see them all together, it's like, it's the most amazing thing.
That's cool. Are the retreats mostly in Colorado?
They're everywhere. They're all over. We've done one in Georgia. We did a women's retreat in Georgia. We did one in West Virginia. They did one in Indiana. They did one in Missouri. We had the one in Colorado. I think they're on their working on doing another one. I just don't know where yet. So, and the purpose of that is because they are so spread out, and we want to make sure we can get as many there as possible. So depending on where we are, we know which ones we're able to bring in and get there.
Gotcha. So. And so through those retreats, you're helping them form community, but then you're also helping them. Does the program help them learn skills and things that they can potentially use in life?
Yeah.
And how do people get involved?
Yeah.
On the other side, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do give them resources and ways to learn what to do and what not to do. For West Virginia, we had a financial advisor come in, and he did a whole workshop on budgeting and how you should go about spending your money on this way, how to save, where to put what, and then was literally, here's my card, call me and I'll do whatever for free. And we have a lot of people who hear these stories of these young adults and are more than willing to offer their services and get them on their feet. As far as getting involved, I mean, it's really just word of mouth at this point. I mean, the nonprofit or the golf tournament alone, I've had from this last golf tournament, I think I've had 7 or 8 people reach out asking how they can get involved.
And you just had that last week?
It was in end of March.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Time is flying. Time is flying. But yeah, so it's really cool because once they hear about it and see how passionate my parents are about it, especially, it's a no-brainer for a lot of people.
Yeah. So. Yeah. At what point did you realize that you had a heart for that?
Early on, I'd say my mom she pretty much raised us to just love others unconditionally, which is
Are you, and I'm sidetracked for a second, Are you a member of a faith base? I mean, do you go to church? Is
Yeah.
that where it kind of comes from too, or?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic. I was
Okay.
baptized Catholic when I was born, and then I'm Christian now. I just
Okay.
got baptized Christian 2 years ago. So yeah, I think that does help.
A little bit? Okay.
My mom, the one thing that's so amazing about my mom too is she is a God-fearing woman, and it shows day in and day out. But a lot of these youth who age out have had a problem with the church at some point, and so they're very much like, I hate God. I want nothing to do with God. And one thing that's so amazing about my mom is she doesn't push religion, spirituality, nothing on them. But a lot of them have come to Jesus because of the way she treats them.
That's awesome.
And it's a really cool thing to see. And I think I've gotten a lot of that from her. And even my dad. My dad grew up Methodist. He wasn't really involved in the church until, I mean, he met my mom. And my mom's kind of just the bright light of the world. And so he's just already fallen into that path. He already had all those morals and beliefs and loves the way that Jesus would want you to love others, and that's how both my parents are, and I think a lot of people see that, and that's why a lot of people are so drawn to my mom too, and feel like, I don't know how many of the youth call her mom. Like,
That's so cool.
they're just like, you are my mom, and so being Christian and growing up faith-based has been huge. I think that helps a lot.
What ultimately, what is the purpose of All In? I mean, what is you trying to accomplish
Yeah.
with the youth? And I say youth as young adults,
Yes.
however you want to look at that.
I think the main purpose of All In is to build a community and let them know that they do have a family, whether it's a chosen family, blood family, or the adoptive family. And we do call it chosen family. That's what we get to pick who we love and like who we want there and whatever. And they all choose each other, which is super fun. But it is, I think, helping them grow and giving them the opportunities to know that you are bigger than what your story was. And I know a lot of them, a lot of them have started their own nonprofits. One of the ones that I'm super close with too, he already started fostering, and he's only 28 years old.
Oh, wow.
And he's fostering teenagers, so he's doing amazing. And I think it's just giving them a sense of worth and knowing that they have a purpose in this world too. So, and that they are loved unconditionally.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, I don't even know how to ask the question. Do you ever feel like you were given, now being involved with All In, do you ever feel like as a youth you were sheltered and you didn't see, maybe looking back at maybe some of the kids you went to school with and now thinking, okay, I understand them a little bit differently?
Yes and no. Hearing the extent of some of these stories has really changed my perspective. I wouldn't say I was sheltered. I did have a lot of, my mom, she was a parole officer, and then she's always been in social work. So, and then I have 3 adopted cousins as well. So I have seen some of that stuff prior in my childhood, but I think the extent of the stories I've heard now from All In, I get mad at my computer and I have to like check myself. Like, no, I haven't had a bad day compared to some of these people in our family. But it's hard to, when I was younger, fully understand or accept that could actually happen. That people, and like I've said, me and my brothers are so blessed that we had such great parents growing up. And unfortunately, that's not everybody's story. But that's where I think why I have grown to love All In so much too, is because it has put me in a place to where I can take a step back and realize I'm okay no matter what. If these young adults who have gone through hell and back are out here thriving and healing and doing everything that they need to do to grow, I can do the same thing. So it's been kind of empowering for me to see and hear their stories as well.
That's cool.
So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Do some of the youth that have, is there you go through the program and then you're kind of done, or is it once you're in, you're kind of a part of it?
Yep. You're just in there. You're just our family at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's your mom, obviously, and you. Now you have other families across the country that help with.
Yeah. So my mom and my dad are the 2 main people. We have Jayla, who's a big help. And then a lot of our foster youth are also involved in it. We have one that does our social media, another one that does our marketing and fundraising. Some of my mom's friends have stepped in and they're just voluntarily helping. But yeah, that's people from, we have one of my mom's friends I think he's in West Virginia, offered up his whole ranch to us. And the youth was able to go there. That's the West Virginia retreat we had. My mom's on the board of Chick-fil-A as well, so of WindShape. So the owners of Chick-fil-A, Bubba and Cindy, opened up their home for the women's retreat. So we were able to go there in Georgia. So yeah, they're all over. And because the majority of the places that we go are offered up to the nonprofit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
How could, or what is it that you need? What is it that All In needs? I mean, is it just monetary?
it's pretty much fundraising right now
Okay.
because it is just basically my parents doing it. My dad's still working full time. He's God sent. It is pretty much just the fundraising aspect of it because in order to get the youth to these retreats,
Yeah.
the flights are insane. But I mean, a lot of them will call my parents if their car breaks down or if they're getting evicted from their apartment. So those funds also go towards helping them get out of those situations as well.
Gotcha. And is there a website or
It is all in empoweringfutures.org or .com.
all in empowering futures
Yes. I believe it's .com. I'll have to double check that.
something?
You'll find it.
We'll make sure to get that from you, and we'll link
Yes,
it when
perfect.
we throw
Perfect.
everything together. Okay, so that's impressive. I mean, it just blows me away because I feel like, in my head, naivete, I guess. You think about, these kids they go into foster care, and you think, okay, these people are fostering because they want to love on the kid. They want to help the kid be successful. They want to help the kid grow and be ready for life. But yet that's not happening. Yeah. And it's like, that's super sad.
Yeah.
That is actually happening.
It's insane. I mean, the book I referred to, The Piece of Cake, I like using her book as reference because a lot of the people in our program aren't comfortable sharing their story fully, and her story does embody a lot of the people. Sometimes the ones that get fostered are the ones that are getting molested by their foster parents or abused by their foster parents, and so that's why a lot of them are wanting to change the system into. And I like I said, I don't know the extent of how each state goes about allowing foster parents to foster and the adoption process. I don't know the extent of all of that, but yeah, it's insane, and it definitely. The stories you hear are ones that are literally unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
through real estate, you've got to, I'm going to tell you what to do now, right? Suggestion, lightly. Sell a bunch of properties, get on the inside, flip and fix, end up buying a massive ranch.
And house all these youth.
House them all.
Yeah, so actually, oddly enough, one of my best friends who I met through the nonprofit, she also aged out of the foster care system. I sold her, she has her own nonprofit too, and it's called A Place to Turn. And so she was housing young women who are aging out of the foster care system. And she is the most fiery spirited human I've ever met. And so we ended up selling her house around this time last year. And now she is on a mission to find either a piece of land that she can build on or some house that she can start housing people again.
That's cool.
And so that is actually like one of her missions that she wants to do. And she's reaching out to people. She is doing so much to see if that's something she can make happen. And it's really cool to see because she's another one where her story is insane. And she actually speaks at my golf tournaments because her story is seeing who she is now. She's an incredible mother. She's an incredible friend. And you would just never know that her past was the past that she had. So it's super cool seeing her try to build her nonprofit and knowing that she wants to give back to who she calls her family. She tells all the people that age of the foster care system, in the foster care system, those are her brothers and sisters.
That's awesome.
And she will go to the end of the earth for all of them.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's cool. I've had these weird thoughts over time about starting a nonprofit. One of them, for whatever reason, I'm infatuated by shoes, which I don't have a lot of shoes, and I have crappy
Okay.
shoes. But what I've noticed is, in my mind anyways, you can kind of tell somebody who's truly homeless by what their shoes look like versus somebody who's just out panhandling.
Right.
And so I've had this thought of starting this nonprofit called Shoes for My Soul.
Okay.
Just a weird, right? But part of the whole nonprofit being, I think it'd be so cool to have a ranch where you could go to people who are homeless and say, look, I can help you get off the street. I can help you get clean.
You got to come work the ranch.
You got to come work the ranch. You got to learn a trade. I'm going to teach you to do woodworking or welding or
Get you a resume.
whatever.
Yeah.
We will help you build that up. And once you're clean, the whole premise is I'm going to help you get to a point where you're ready to soar,
Yep.
right?
Love that. I love that.
And I just, that whole picture of having that ranch. So when you talk about it, it's like, I just love that because I just think a lot of people really, truly just need an opportunity, right? They haven't been given it over time and whatever it is. So if we can, use our space to help
Absolutely.
provide them space. But anyway, so I love what you're doing. So I would love to get involved.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about that offline. Let's transition back down to real estate.
Okay.
Building a career in real estate. You're 3 years in. So some people would say, "Oh, she's still young. She has no experience."
Yeah.
We'll pretend like you have a lot of
Yes,
experience.
I'll take it.
Is there anything that you would go back now, before you started, or when you decided to pull out your laptop and do the exam online? Is there anything you go back to yourself then and say, hey, make sure to do X?
Yeah, I think the number one thing would be, a lot of people get into real estate because they're like, well, I have the flexible hours and I can go travel and I can do all of this. I wish from the jump I would have treated real estate as a 9-to-5 job. It is very hard to get out of the habit of doing real estate when you want versus when you should be. And it's not a career that you can just pick and choose when you can do it. We are blessed in the fact that if we have our phone on us, we can technically do real estate. That is a very big blessing part of the career, but it is also something that's, if you're not intentionally working on building your business, it's not going to build itself. So I think treating it as an actual job from the start versus a hobby, I think would be the biggest thing. But the kind of my downfall, I would say, was I was still working at the golf course, and I was making very good money at the golf course. So real estate was kind of
so there was no
gig.
burning necessity to have to do something.
Exactly, yeah. But it did get me in a bad routine of, okay, well, I'll call people this day, maybe not this day, or I'll reach out to somebody this day and not this day. So that's been a big shift that I've had to change.
Yeah.
So.
Has any of what you've done in real estate helped you transition or help some of these kids who are transitioning out of the foster system into possibly look at, hey, there's an opportunity here? Because similar to insurance, you don't have to have a college degree to get into insurance.
Nope.
You just got to pass a test.
You just got to pass a test.
And you got to have determination like hell.
And just go get it. Yeah.
So has that helped you at all to be able to talk to some of these, we'll say, kids and say, look, there's opportunity out there. You just have to be willing to go work for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of them, he was one of the ones that I met really early on in the nonprofit. He called me probably 2 or 3 years ago, and he just got his real estate license. And he actually was like, I think this is a way I'm going to be able to provide for my family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even looking at my girlfriend, the one that has the nonprofit herself, she's even like, how can we like start getting houses? Like, even if I rent it out and go do this, this, and this. And so they're all seeing that there is opportunity if you just take the leap.
Yeah.
And me being so close with a lot of them, they do call me and ask me about it all the time. And I am very transparent with them and they're very transparent with me. So it's kind of we bounce the ideas off each other and it really helps motivate each other to go push each other more. And
that's cool.
But yeah, they definitely see that there's a lot more out there than just a 9-to-5 job. So
I think that's an easy trap to fall in both of our industries and probably quite a few other industries that are out there that give you that flexibility to be able to say, oh, it's Monday. Oh, you want to go play golf? Yeah, let's go play golf. It's like, okay, is there a purpose to me being on the golf course right now? Right?
Yeah.
Who am I going to be with? What possible conversations are there? How do I work this into the conversation?
Yeah.
What does that look like? It's funny because when I first started selling insurance, I've been in insurance for 30 years, but when I first started actually selling insurance, somebody's like, pick a silo, go after that silo. What do you want to focus on? And I'm like, well, golf, because I love playing golf.
I love playing golf, duh.
I think every agent out there wants to focus on golf. Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's not a good silo, but you figure that out kind of early on. But the whole thing of it allows for a lot of flexibility, but it also demands a consistent, methodical, driven purpose. I don't know. I mean, throwing words out, but it's one of those things where it's like, you kind of almost have to, you were talking about on your mirror, affirmations written on your mirror. I don't have affirmations written on my mirror, but on my whiteboard at home, I have one affirmation written, and they just simply focus on the process. The outcome will come. The outcome will take care of itself.
That's huge.
Because there's so many times where I'm whether it's staring down the barrel of needing to pay bills or, oh my God, I haven't put a new piece of business in the pipeline for a month, whatever it is. Yeah. And I start freaking out and I start thinking, I'm not going to make any money. What happens at it? I'm not going to make money. And it's like, wait, stop. How did you get to here?
Trust the process.
Go talk to people.
Yep.
Follow up. Who can you call right now to follow up with that you haven't talked to for 6 months?
Exactly.
That said, hey, you know what? We're just not ready today.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, you know where to find me.
Yeah. And it's that thing where it's like, but that's such the mental calisthenic where I'll talk to people and say, there's sometimes where I wish I had the mentality to be able to just go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I just can't do it.
I can't do it.
I'm not a good employee.
I've never worked a 9 to 5 and I don't plan on it.
And God bless the people that can. And I will throw this in right now. And if Christine listens to this, we talk about this all the time. So my fiance, Christine, and I, we talk about it. She is probably the most amazing employee you could ever wish to have because she takes everything personally, good and bad.
Yeah.
She will run a business like it is her own. And all she cares about is the bottom line and making sure the money's coming in the door, making sure people, she gets frustrated when, you get to work and you clock in and then you hang up your jacket. Yeah. It's like, wait a second, hang up your jacket then clock in. It's like those types of things. Yeah. And there are those people, and God bless them. We need them in our life.
Yeah. I know they help. I know one specifically where I'm like, I know this agent wouldn't function if he didn't have her. So
yeah, exactly. And I will tell you that is not me. Like I can remember I've pretty much worked out of the house, out of my house for the majority of my career. Now I have an office for the business and different things like that. But the majority of my career, I've worked out of the house. There was a time where I worked in an office in Tempe and we had little cubicles, and it was like my first real experience of actually having to go to an office because of the company I had just gone to work for. And the way they had the cubicles set up was so your back was to the entrance of the cubicle and your monitors were facing that so the manager could walk by and see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it drove me crazy. It's like, I am here to work.
Yeah. I don't need to be micromanaged.
I don't need you to come and check on me. I don't need you to,
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Give me a job and leave me alone,
Let me do my thing. I know what I'm doing.
So I think that's why, like, for me, like, I'm good, but it freaks me out.
Yeah.
There are times where it's like, holy crap. So, obviously, and the market, there's things you can control, and then there's things you absolutely cannot control.
Yep.
What's the best thing a homeowner can do? Or let's say not a homeowner. Let's say somebody wants to come to you. They're the first-time home buyer. What is the number one best thing they could do to get themselves prepared to buy?
I would say sit down with your professionals. You want to sit down with a real estate agent and you want to sit down with a lender. The lender is going to sit there and tell you pretty much exactly what you need to do in the next 6 to 12 months to purchase a home, if you can't already purchase a home. A lot of times home buyers don't even realize that they are already capable of purchasing a home, but they just haven't done their research on the different loan programs or the assistant programs or whatever it is. Because the thing is, good real estate agents don't want you to be house poor. If you're not ready to buy a home, we're not forcing you to buy a home. So I'd say that's the number one thing. I just had this conversation actually with somebody yesterday who knows they're not ready to buy a home, but they also haven't talked to a real estate professional in over 5.5 years. So he's like, I know from what they said 5 years ago that I'm not where I need to be. And there are a lot of programs out there now that require 0% down to buy a home or 3.5% down to buy a home. So I say that's the number one thing. We don't care if you're ready to buy today, but let's get you set up so you know exactly what you need to be doing to buy in 6 months or to buy in 12 months or to buy like whenever you're feeling comfortable to buy.
Plan.
Yeah. So just setting up and actually being prepared to do that. Because, we even have people who are like, well, I can't buy because my credit's so bad. I have a debt assistant company that I send people to left and right because they're just going to go get their credit fixed and then they're going to be ready to buy a home.
Gotcha.
So we have the resources to also help you get to that point. It's just about closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and I think projecting my thought on other people, those ignorant people out there, I think one of it, number one, I think we are told to never talk to anybody about our money situations, right? And I'm broad brushing. So a lot of people kind of hold those cards really close to the vest.
Yep.
And then the other thing is there's this perception of if you don't have 10% down,
You can't buy a home.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you sit and I think about, I mean, my stepdaughter and her boyfriend just bought a house in September, I think, in East Mesa, but they were in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I feel like they're
Paying more than their mortgage.
yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's got to be a way.
Yeah.
you
And
know.
that's the thing. Like there is. And the biggest thing I like to preach to people is the equity part of it. Because you're paying somebody else's mortgage. You're helping somebody else have generational wealth. And to me, that's sickening.
Yeah.
It actually like makes me sick to my stomach thinking that there are people out there who I know can afford a mortgage because they're paying more for their rent than they would a mortgage. And they're just not willing to take the step to see what it would take to do that.
Yeah.
And then they go listen to their uncles, brothers, sisters, child, whatever it may be, who hasn't sold a house in
Yeah.
15 years and thinks the market's the exact same.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's just like the number one thing. Talk to somebody who's currently in the business and then see what the next steps are. Because at the end of the day, like I know my heart and how I want people, especially the ones around me, I know where I want them to be. And I want them to be able to build that equity.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be so transparent with them on when I think is a good time to buy, when I think it's not a good time to buy, if I think they should buy. And I think that's just getting in front of the people to actually have those conversations with. Huge.
Do you have, I mean, as a real estate agent, I would assume you have people in your pocket that you work very closely with that
Yes.
can help people kind of all the way.
I do. I have a whole list of, I call it my vendors list, and I vet I call them actually my power partners, and I vet all of my power partners. I don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me or that I don't want to work with. And so why would I want my client to work with that same person kind of thing? So over the years, I mean, I've still done a lot of trial and error with different people in my pocket, but I've gotten into a really good spot where I know now, like the power partners that I do have, if there isn't somebody I have, I know I can go hit them up, and I bet you they have somebody who's just as good that I can send to this person.
Yeah.
So we do, like it's a small world. I mean, this business is a very small business. Everybody knows everybody, and so we know who good, bad, great, all the things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Golf. You've only been playing 4 years, which surprises me.
Yeah.
Must be the softball thing.
Something.
Maybe it's in your blood.
I'm a visual learner.
Yeah. But it seems like it's more than just a game for you. Talk to me about how golf has helped you maybe through the last 4 years, maybe build your business.
Yeah.
Has it helped you?
Golf has honestly kind of changed my life, and I hope my brother doesn't hear that because he's like, I told you to start playing. So, I mean, if it wasn't for the golf course, that's where I met all my friends when I first moved to Arizona. So I don't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for Ocotillo Golf Course to begin with. And then starting to play more has allowed me to get closer to a lot of these people that I met at the golf course, because now I can actually go have those one-on-ones, conversations with them, get to know them better. And then I joined a ladies' league who have been so welcoming, and I actually put on a wine tasting for them a couple weeks ago and got 3 leads from it. There was only 10 of
Nice.
us there. And then with the golf tournament, I think golf has really just given me more of a, I mean, ties into real estate as well. It's given me a platform to use. It's given me like something that I can focus on that I know I love to do. And the best advice I've ever gotten when it comes to real estate is do what you love to do, go where you love to go, and the people that you want to work with you are going to be there
Yeah.
because you guys are going to match. And that's kind of where golf came in, is I might suck at golf some days, but I love it. I love being outside. I hate being inside, being on a computer. I'm a relational person. I don't want to sit there and cold call every single day. And so it has really just changed the way
Yeah.
I do business. And the hard part is it is slower building because it is, I mean, I'm on a 4-hour round with 3 other people who they might not be looking.
Yeah.
So the next week when I golf, who knows, maybe those they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Well,
really
but
has
you never
changed.
know when somebody, like my worst trait, I always say I'm the worst salesperson in the world because I'm just relationship. Like I just
Yeah.
want to be your friend. I'm
Yeah.
like a little stupid lap puppy.
Yeah, exactly. We're golden retrievers.
Just be nice to me. Yeah, exactly. I just want to be friends.
Yeah.
Let's just be friends.
Just friends, please.
And I hate asking people for business, right? I hate
it.
propositioning people for business. But I feel like, at least in my brain, I hope that it may not be you that ever says, hey, Jan, I need insurance. I may never say, hey, Brett, I need a house. But there may be a time when somebody's like, God, I'm looking to buy a house. I'm like, you know what? I know a couple of
some-
really
yep.
good realtors.
Yep.
Because I feel like, just like with insurance agents, realtors are the same. We're not right for everybody.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
going to clash with some people. I'm going to do really good with some people.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be that middle ground somewhere whatever,
Yep. Absolutely.
So I always like to say, hey, you know what? You're looking to buy a house? I know, here's a couple people.
Yeah.
Vet them,
Yep.
have conversations.
Exactly.
You're not married to any one of them until you
Yeah.
until you actually pick.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the first things that we were taught coming into real estate is have 3 lenders, because not everybody's going to be each other's cup of tea. Have 3 lenders, have 3 inspection companies, because then also if, say, this lender really screws up, and that comes back on you technically if that's the only person you send them.
Yep.
Whereas you gave them 3 options and
Yeah,
you
you
chose
picked
that.
them. Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
But another example, I have one of my good friends. She has somebody in her life that is her real estate agent, and I know that, and I respect that, and I'm not going to be mad at her for using her. But I also know that if she runs into somebody who is looking to buy or sell, she's probably going to think of me first versus her real estate agent.
Yeah.
And that's something that you have to keep that in mind, and why it's so important to not burn any bridges.
Well, it's almost more important than for her to use you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now it's like, okay, well, I could get the one,
Or I can get 5.
or I could get 5 or 6 or
Yeah.
10 or whatever
And
it
keep
is,
going. Yeah, exactly.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If somebody was listening to the podcast right now and they were either thinking about getting into real estate or they've been in real estate for a while, what's some advice that you would give them? Besides, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. No, I would say be moldable. Real estate is a forever changing business, and being in it only the few years I've had, it's already changed so much. And I think this year will be the highest amount of agents retiring. And I think that's because of how much it is changing and how it is switching kind of to social media and AI and all of that. So I would say learn as much as you can before getting into it and while you're into it. Be moldable. And if you decide to get into it, go full force.
Yeah. Has there been anybody in your path, in the real estate path, that has helped you, along the way? Keller Williams, is that here?
I'm with Keller Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, he's turned into one of my best friends, actually. I met him. We have what's called Mega Camp. And this is going to make his ego bigger than it already is. But I met him at Mega Camp. He's actually the GM of one of my brokerages and part investor as well. And when I first met him, we just clicked, and we were able to roll ideas off each other. And I was able to just vent to him and kind of build that relationship. And that was 2.5 years ago. And since then, I know it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I can call him and say, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing this. Can you tell me that I'm a good agent? Can you
Yeah.
He gives me the affirmations I need. He helps. He's brilliant when it comes to real estate. And he's probably been my biggest one that's kept me chugging along. I have quite a few others. My productivity coach getting into real estate, she was huge for me. An old team leader, he's been huge for me. And these are all people that see all the potential in me as well. So it's super fun for me to listen to them kind of you do have this, you can do this. And then, of course, I just have the greatest support system ever. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very blessed.
Where do you go from here? What is the big grand plan for Brett?
Yeah, as of right now, we are just taking it one day at a time. When it comes to real estate, I do see, I will continue to leverage my real estate business and help those around me when it comes to the nonprofit. But I do eventually want to have my own team. I want to be able to build other people up and help them get to a level that I know so many agents are capable of getting to, but just don't have the right mentorship to get there. But I think right now, we're on the Brett train. We're rooting for Brett, and we're just going to keep chugging along.
That's awesome.
That's where I'm at.
If you could go back and visit your 8th grade self who got line drived in the ribs, was it 8th grade?
Yep.
I got it right.
It is. It's going in, yeah.
And you could give her some advice that you think would help you today, what would that advice be?
Oof, that's kind of deep. I would tell her that she's going to be okay. I tell her that any struggle that comes, she's going to get through it. She's made it through 100% of all her problems, and it's just going to shape her and turn her into the most amazing human. So that's what I would tell her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One more question.
Okay.
Anybody sitting on the fence of making a very big decision, do you have advice?
Make a pros and cons list. I'm a list girl. Write it down, look over it, and me being a Christian, pray about it, journal about it. I don't even want to tell you to ask your friends and family, because that sometimes can get messy in your head, but find 1 or 2 close friends or family that you know you can trust and can listen to their advice. Get that, write that down too, pray about it some more, and then go cross off pros and cons and just do your pros and cons list. I'd say that's the best thing ever. So,
anything else we need to know about Brett?
I don't know. I think we covered quite a bit.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing both about All In.
Yes.
And that was
allinempoweringfutures.com.
.com or org. We'll find out. And then how do people find you for real estate?
Yeah, Instagram's going to be the easiest one. It's at Move with Brett, and it's BRETT, 2 T's. And yes, the boy's name.
Just like the guy spells it.
Yep, George Brett Favre. I'm just better than Brett Favre, so
just
remember that. But yeah, Instagram's going to be the easiest thing.
Who's your football team?
Broncos.
Oh, I forgot. Denver.
In Bo we trust. I love my Colorado teams. I love them. But yeah.
Well, hey, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate this.
Yeah, and we'll link in your bio when we get you on the podcast, both All In and your real estate stuff, so people can find you on the website. Awesome. I do have a gift for you. Everybody who comes on gets a gift.
We love presents.
That is for you.
Oh, thank you.
You get a challenge coin. You've accepted the challenge,
nice.
And you went above and beyond, and so I appreciate that.
Awesome.
And then we've been enjoying a drink, so you get a customized tumbler. Is that a tumbler? I don't know if that is a whiskey glass.
I'd say whiskey glass.
But it has Brett with 2 T's on the back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so yours
awesome.
In the box is
super cool.
Customized to you. Rock's Ink Calligraphy does those for us.
That's awesome.
So,
well, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I look forward to getting to know you, and we'll get out on the golf course sometime.
Yes, we'll have to. You can actually see how bad I am.
Well, hey, you can see how bad I am.
That'll be great.
Anyways, awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All right.
it. This is Brett Johnson, and I went above and beyond.
Lunch mobs buzzing, ideas in the air. Golf outings where stories we share. Beyond the fairways, friendships grow. In APN's embrace, opportunities flow. No happy talking, just real deals. Authentic connections, the kind that heals. From Palm Springs to Pine Top Grace, APN's network spans every place. Above Par Network, we're going above and beyond, reaching new heights. In networking realms, scaling the heights. From mixers to golf, our spirits unite. APN's the beacon, our guiding light. So here's to APN, where dreams align. In every connection, a chance to shine. Above and beyond, we'll always strive. In APN's network, we truly thrive.